Grove Kids, it's me, Holly, again. Oh my gosh, it's another Valentine coming up. Can you believe it? Here is a great time for us to go around, share our love and our respect with other people, giving them Valentines, giving them little treats and goodies. This is also the time that you start thinking to yourself, all right, there's that little boy or that little girl in class, and I don't really want to give them a Valentine. Is it just me? Have you guys ever thought that? Have you ever thought, I don't really want to give him or her one. I don't really want to be nice to him or her. It's exactly what we're going to be talking about today in our lesson. Jesus went to this huge crowd, and in Matthew 5, he tells them, hey guys, you've heard it said before, love those who love you, hate your enemies, right? Yeah, don't give them Valentines. But he says to them, I tell you something is greater than this. In heaven, and I call you to love your enemies and pray for those people who hurt you. That would kind of be like giving them a better Valentine? I don't know. Like, how often do you pray for those people who've pushed you on the playground, who've snarled at you or laughed at you or mocked at you? I'm going to be honest. It's really hard for me to do it too. It doesn't mean that we have to be best friends with these people. It just says that we have to love them. And the best way to love somebody is to pray for them. Wow. If we really serve a God who is the God of the world, the universe, all the galaxies, this mighty, mighty, huge space that we just are a speck in, don't you think he can do something great with a prayer? Couldn't he change our heart, their hearts? Couldn't he make things good again? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I challenge both of us, Grove Kids. You guys pray for the people who are hard for you to love. And I'll pray for the people who are hard for me to love. In fact, I'm going to get started now and start making some Valentines and giving those out to the people who are a little hard for me to love. Let me know how it works for you guys. And come see us in person. We're going to be celebrating Valentine's Day today. There's also baptisms after second service this Sunday, February 12th. So please come. We can't wait to celebrate with you guys. We love you, and we hope that you're doing a good job praying for those people who are a little bit hard to love. I love you guys.
The story before the story.
Today, we're in Matthew, the very first book in the New Testament. But before Matthew, in the very beginning, out of a deep, deep love, God made an amazing world. But when people turned away from God, the world was broken.
God made a plan to draw people back into relationship. So at the right time, God sent a tiny baby to be born in the small town of Bethlehem, God's very own son, Jesus.
When Jesus grew up, he began to travel from town to town, teaching and healing.
And everywhere he went, huge crowds gathered because Jesus spoke with more authority than any other teacher ever.
Which is where our story starts.
Take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm Erica. You know, one day, Jesus sat down on a hillside in Galilee to teach his disciples, but it wasn't long before many people joined the crowd. They were amazed at what Jesus said. His teaching went beyond anything they'd ever heard before.
Blessed are those who are humble. They will be given the earth.
Jesus claimed that people who are sad or humble or hungry or those who suffer for doing what's right are actually blessed. He said his followers are like salt and light. He said that calling someone a fool is just as bad as, get this, murder. It all added up to one thing. What's on the outside matters much less than what's on the inside, what's in your heart. People squeezed closer to hear as Jesus continued.
You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor, hate your enemy. But here is what I tell you. Love your enemies. Pray for those who hurt you.
What? Up to this point, most wise teachers and philosophers had agreed that you should not hurt someone unless they hurt you first. Then you had every right to get back at them. If someone punched you in the mouth and knocked out a tooth, you could punch them and knock out their tooth. If they said something mean to you, then you should shout something just as mean back at them. But Jesus taught a new way of understanding. Love your enemies. Now, it's easy to think of your enemy as the really bad guys, like a supervillain about to destroy the world, or a dangerous criminal on the run, or even the biggest bully on the playground. But your enemies can also be the people you're around every day, like the classmate who cuts ahead of you in line, even your little brother who's super annoying. Loving your enemy is simply loving anyone you don't get along with. That love is more than a warm, fuzzy feeling. You don't have to feel loving to love your enemies. In fact, you probably won't. Instead, you can speak kind words. If someone insults you, choose something kind to say in return. Don't grumble and complain about them behind their backs. In fact, you can show respect. There might even be something nice you can say about that person. You should also do well to them. If someone trips you up on the way to PE class, you can tell them that's not cool. But don't look for ways to get back at them. And most important of all, pray for them. Ask God to care for your enemy and help you forgive them. Prayer might change your enemy, and it can change your own heart too. Speak, do well, pray. When we love our enemies like that, Jesus went on to say,
Then you will be children of your Father who is in heaven.
Jesus kept going. He said, it's easy to be nice to anyone who's nice to you. Anyone can do that. But God gives good gifts like sunshine and rain to provide for everyone, even people who do wrong things. We are made in God's image. And when we show respect and do good things for those who don't treat us well, we're actually showing the world what God is like.
Okay, that's a lot to wrap my brain around.
No kidding.
So,
What's our part in the story?
Well, choosing to love your enemy is actually a really awesome opportunity. It's a way we can work with God to show God's love to the world. Like, maybe a kid on your soccer team keeps making fun of you when you don't block goals. Instead of saying mean things about them, you could cheer for them when they make a great kick.
Or if your teacher loses patience and takes away recess for the whole class, even though it wasn't your fault, you could offer to clean up the classroom.
It makes me think of my little brother. He drives me nuts because he's always borrowing my shirts without asking and getting stains on them.
So what do you do?
What I want to do is yell at him and mess his stuff up. But I could keep my temper and show him how to get stains out of them.
Yep. You never want to let someone keep hurting you, but you can always respond with kindness.
Exactly. It's not an easy thing to do for sure. But when we follow Jesus, we have the power of God's Spirit to help us speak kind words, do well, and pray for our enemies.
Gotta respect that.
See y'all next time.
Bye, Erica. So here's the thing. Show respect even when you don't get along.
Show me how to love like you, treating others the way you do. Kindness in my thoughts and words, respect my neighbor, putting others first. Jesus, I thank you. I just wanna sing. You're all that I need. You say that I mean so much to you. You love me like a friend and help me through. So I will worship you in all I do. So I live my life to show that I know you're everything to me. You're everything to me. You're everything to me. So I live my life to show that I know you're everything to me. You taught us a brand new way You're everything to me. I'm gonna lift my voice to you. Jesus, you make me sing. I'm gonna live my life for you. You're everything to me. You say that I mean so much to you. You love me like a friend and help me through. So I will worship you in all I do. So I lift